Hi everyone. So today what is arising is the energy of experiencing shame and guilt upon the path when you have been following your soul's path, following your journey of devotion. And I'm bringing this up as it is a common theme among students that I work with and clients that I work with to experience this, and I myself have experienced this upon my path. And one of the main reasons this arises for beings upon their devotional path is because oftentimes, especially within your family or community, you are the black sheep. You are the one who took a different road. So you are the one who followed the path of your soul, essentially. And so what occurs is you are meeting up against the energies of others who have not necessarily honored their soul path and who have taken a more conventional lifestyle. So the majority of the world has taken a conventional way of life, and that's why we see what we do today. So for those of you that have not gone that route and have really chosen to honor your being and to follow your soul's path, you may have experienced this shame or guilt which arises, and this can really bring up a lot of energies which block you from aligning with what you really came here to do in the world. So this is really what we'll be talking about, and how to release that and how to let that go. So one of the main ways to begin releasing that and to begin clearing that from your system is to acknowledge and see, where did those energies come from? Where did that shame arise from? Where did that guilt arise from that you carry within your being? Who gave that to you, even for some of you? Who gave that to you? So asking yourself, why is there any reason for me to feel guilty upon my own path for choosing what my soul has guided me towards? So you have to really take a look at your path and the steps that you've taken and acknowledge the truth of each step that you've taken, and see that those steps are sacred. Those are your sacred steps that you've taken from your sincerity of being, from your energy of aligning with what is true for you. And there's nothing more beautiful than that. So it is about you seeing that and acknowledging that, and then allowing the illusions to leave your system in the light of that recognition. In the light of that recognition. So some of you may have had parents that were against what you're doing. Okay, so that could be part of it as well, or siblings. So what you have to see is that those beings did not follow their path. And so of course that they have a resistance within their being about you taking your path, because they never fulfilled what they came here to do. No, they didn't. And so they don't want you to fulfill it, because if you fulfill what you came here to do, it shows them basically how they were not in alignment with their being by the light that you shine in your wisdom, by honoring your truth fully. Know that your light is, if your path is shining the light on all those beings that have put convenience, security, comfort first before the soul's path, because the soul's path is wild. The soul's path will take you to places no one wants to go because they're too scared to go on that journey. You are the one who chose that, to go on the wild journey, the one that honors your spirit. So when you move in that way, you're moving in integrity with your soul. And so naturally, you will always come up against everyone else who is not in alignment with their soul force and is not in alignment in the integrity of their soul force, and who basically took the easy, well, you can say easy path, but they took their own path. They took their own path. That was not the path of their spirit. So this shame and guilt, you also have to recognize as well, is that first of all, you're the rare few that took each step seriously upon the path, so that you're in alignment with your inner being, so that you're in alignment with what you came here to create on Gaia. So really honoring that and acknowledging that is huge. It's allowing yourself to see the light of your own sun shining through you and beaming into the world in the ways in which you came here to create, to express, and for your greater mission. So in order to release the energies around it, first acknowledge and also, raise yourself in your divine pride. Be proud of yourself for the steps that you've taken, that you've chosen to be in alignment with the truth of your being rather than convenience and the conventional lifestyles that exist. They're not easier on a soul level. On a soul level, the people who took that path, they're not fulfilled. It's convenient for them. It doesn't mean it's in alignment with their soul. So we came here to fulfill on a soul level our beings and to liberate ourselves. So be proud of yourself for taking the steps that you have. And within that space, the beings who have not supported you, or the beings who have told you not to go that way and things like this, they all were also showing you your own strength in choosing your own path. So you can be thankful for that. But another aspect of this is to disconnect from the beings who attempted to put shame and guilt on you. Disconnect from them. There's no reason why to keep that bondage alive. There's better to be alone. Better to be alone or with people who honor the soul path over all things. So, and of course, this will be a very individual decision. Very individual decision for each one. But as you continue to grow in your strength, grow in your power, what is going to occur is that these energies, you continue to release resistance around them. And in that space, you begin to grow in your powers. You begin to transmit who you really are. You begin to create and gift to the world those energies which you truly are. So allow yourself to continue releasing the resistance around the shame and the guilt, and to stand in your power, to appreciate yourself for your experience, and to release that shame and guilt back to the rightful place. for the people that may have been in your experience, you can send that back to them, because it is theirs. It's their shame and guilt for not being on their path, for not fulfilling what they came here to do. So that's okay. And you can do that. And once you do that, then they are also gifted the opportunity in that moment to receive that back to themselves and to find their own power on their own path. Because if you hold on to their shame and guilt, then you are holding on to something that can liberate them. Okay? So don't think just by disconnecting from people, that we're trying to gift you their shame and guilt, that somehow that's something negative. No, you don't know how that will liberate them. By disconnecting from beings, it gives them the opportunity to find their own power, and it gives them the opportunity to possibly liberate themselves in this lifetime. So there's so many implications by the choices you make, and by honoring your soul force and how you are guided to move. So you might make one decision and release shame and guilt back to its rightful place. And lo and behold, that energy goes back to those beings and also liberates them in turn. You don't know how this will unfold for them, but it is not your shame and guilt to hold on to. So release it. Allow yourself to release resistance around it. In the way that you alchemize your energies upon your path, right? We're all responsible for the way that we do that. So you do it in the way that you know how. If you need guidance and support with this, I would love to work with you in Master Manifestation Magick for 3 months, a deep immersion. Not specifically only for shame and guilt to be released, but to focus on your mission and your manifestation mastery. So to manifest your soul and your soul work upon the planet. So this is what the program is essentially for. But as far as you releasing this shame and guilt, what it's going to do as you continue releasing resistance is it's going to empower all aspects of your life. Because what happens is the shame and guilt ends up covering many things. What you really want to do in your experience, and how you really want to unfold within your experience, how you really want to express. So all of that shame and guilt, it covers up your naturalness and these different ways of expression, right? All these eccentricities that wish to be expressed. So this shame and guilt, and in transforming it and alchemizing it, really shifts and changes your entire experience to flower and to bloom. So this is something that is deeply ingrained within the collective of those that are upon their devotional path of truth and in their satsang from day to day. And so this is something to check within your being to see if it's there, and to alchemize it, and to see how your experience flowers, to see how it flowers. Like the spring now is the flowers are starting to bud, and the flowers are beginning to bloom, and the sun is beginning to shine. So let this be the end of the winter time and the beginning of your flowering. Sending you guys lots of love and a beautiful, beautiful day.